stateful applications in the Kubernetes environment are facing more challenges while mission-critical applications are migrating to the container environment. How to back up mission-critical stateful applications using SODA storage pools, orchestrated with SODA Orchestrator, and using the SODA dashboard to have end-to-end view of the whole process. Our next speakers are Ning Wu, Principal Architect at FutureWay Technologies, and Xiao Tang, Senior Architect, FutureWay Technologies. Over to you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name's Ning. I'm a Principal Architect in FutureWay. Today, I'm going to talk about the stateful application protection using SODA plugin and SODA management framework. I will start, and Jihao will fill in more details about this proposal. So today's agenda is I start talking about some challenges to protect stateful apps in the Kubernetes environment. And we propose architecture in SODA framework with FKSDR, which stands for FutureWay Kubernetes Storage DR. And Jihao will talk about FKSDR Internals and some details about DR with FKSDR and SODA. So there's a trend that many more mission-critical apps become stateful. As you can see on the right side, more than 50% stateful applications in containers are already in production. And I'm guessing this number is increasing because more and more customers are approaching us asking for stateful application protections. So we all know data protection is critical, and today several vendors are providing standalone solutions. So the question to us is whether it's possible to provide data protection with SODA open data framework. Here's a architecture diagram of SODA open data framework. As you can see on the top, on the platforms, we have Kubernetes, and SODA provides data protection capabilities with replication, snapshots, backup, tiering, archiving, and CDM and migration. And SODA can also control clouds, as you've seen in the presentation today. So the idea is whether we can glue all these things together in the SODA open data framework and provide an open solution. So we explored this integration with the FKSDR project. Here is the details about the FKSDR architecture. We want to implement this feature inside of the SODA framework. So as you can see, the admin can use the SODA dashboard and SODA orchestrator to control the stateful application data protection inside of the Kubernetes cluster. And we want to abstract this concept into two things. In the Kubernetes cluster, we want to abstract data protection side inside of the Kubernetes to back up and restore the Kubernetes application with its configurations. And on the storage side, we want to use the SODA data protection features and SODA storage pools to abstract to application volumes and the FKSDR backup volumes, which is used to store the Kubernetes metadata. And in between, we can use the SODA plugin, the single driver, to implement all the control flow. Inside of this green piece, you can see we are putting a component called FKSDR plugin, which inside can use multiple open source Kubernetes data protection products, such as Valero, Kasten, Stash, or many others in the future. So altogether, hopefully this architecture can provide an open framework that a user can use SODA framework to do Kubernetes stateful application data protection. Now, Jahao, well, hand it to you.
Okay. All right, you guys can see the full screen slides here?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the FKSDR Internals. This slide is actually basically a little technical expansion of the high-level architecture Ning just introduced to you guys. So the red arrows here are highlighting all the key interactions that's required to be implemented in order to achieve the goal we design in this architecture. So we need to map the SODA provision to PVC on storage system, and we also need the FKSDR plugin to interact with the PVC. And we also need to have a policy engine for automation, for the automated backup, and everything can be managed from the single control panel offered by the SODA management components. So these interactions are the most important implementation to achieve our target. So with these interactions, we basically can allow administrator to create and manage an automated backup policy to tell the Kubernetes cluster and how to persist and how to back up on the external storage system through the common CSI interface. And on the next slides, we have a simple flowchart to show what kind of events can happen in this whole architecture. So on the very left side, you have the administrator, which interact with the SODA interface. And you can create and manage PVCs, which directly talks to the storage backend and provision it for the application cluster. You provision volumes and you create and manage backup policies. That's defining the automation part. And then data flows between application cluster and the external storage backend. And then based on the backup policy you defined, we'll have a periodic backup automatically done through the FKSDR sidecar. And then once the persistent data is written to the storage backend, you have ability to restore a stateful application cluster when there's a disaster happening. So here we simulate if there's a failure detected or if the admin proactively initiate a restore request through the SODA interface, the application backup data can be restored from the backend to the FKSDR sidecar, and the configurations will be expanded and reapplied to a new cluster, and the data volume will be hooked up according to the configuration, and everything will be statefully restored to the storage, the backup point. And with this workflow, you basically have a stateful application cluster backup automated and managed through a single panel offered by the SODA management components. So this is the whole idea of our FKSDR proposal. And with that, it concludes our 10 minutes talk. Now I think we're open to questions if you have any.
Thank you so much, Ziao, and thank you so much, Ning, for that quick talk on this FKSDR. And this is something which we would really be interested in taking forward, and I'm pretty sure the development team is very excited to look at this talk. I could already hear the chatter in our groups already. Hey, look at this, look at this. It's interesting. So expect people to be coming in and let's do this. Let's get this going and make something out of this. We are open to questions. Let's see if we have any questions. If we don't get any questions now, we will definitely post them to you at a later time so that we can have them answered.
Sure.
Let me just take a look if there are any questions. Now, I don't see any questions at the moment, but really, thank you so much for this. stateful application protection using SODA plugin and SODA management framework. Thank you, Ning, and thank you, Zia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. With that, we will now be moving to the next session, and that is going to be the 5 data resilience capabilities to look for in storage solutions by Ron Driff, a program director at IBM Global Storage Sales. We will now move to the next session. Thank you so much, everybody.